Hey guys, it's me again. Long time no see, and welcome to this rather impromptu video. Last night I decided I had some wood lying around. I wanted to make another small diorama base, and I decided I want to do a cobblestone road. And in the past, as seen in some of my videos, I used cork to create cobblestones, to glue them on the base, and then just fill them with plaster. I decided to go an entirely different route this time, using plaster again, plaster of Paris, and casting a block of plaster of Paris on the diorama base, and then using a cocktail stick or a sewing needle to engrave the cobblestones into the plaster of Paris. Of course, this appears to be a lot more work than the other method, but I think it might be a better result in the end. So let me just quickly demonstrate how I do it. As you can see, we have already got 2 rows. So we take our cocktail stick. We need a wipe so we can always clean the excess off. This has set for, I'd say, when did I go to bed? Roughly 12 o'clock. Now it's 9 o'clock in the morning, so 9 hours. So yeah, it should be hard, but it's actually still very, very workable here. You take the cocktail stick and just engrave our stone. And I guess you will see this in a second. There are a lot of air bubbles in the plaster of Paris, which will just blow up once you start engraving your cobblestone. But that's not a problem. I'll be able to fix that down the line, I hope. This method I actually saw in a modeling magazine, so I'm quite happy. Always have a brush handy so to clean off excess material as well. And try to be not like monotonous and create all the same shapes all over again. Just be random. And always use the lines you've curved out before to follow for your following stone, because otherwise the spaces in between will just be way too big, which was one of the problems I encountered when I did it the other method. That the areas between the stones were way too big, making it look ridiculous. And as you can see, it's rather easy to do this, and not a big problem. I think a very easy, quick method to create cobblestones. You just need to cast your plaster of Paris, let it set overnight, I'd say, and start carving away. And I guess it'll take me at least 2 hours to carve the entire plate if I want to do it concentrated and carefully. So yeah, we'll see how this looks in the end. And once this is done, I'll come back, show you the results, and just quickly discuss what I think about the method in retrospect compared to the other one. So see you in a second. So guys, as promised, I'm back to show you the final results before I put paint on this. And as you can see, we have a nice cobblestone road, right? I even added a drain here for water, and some damaged stones and all sorts of stuff. But as you can see, there are quite a lot of air bubbles that I had to contend with here. And yeah, I'm not entirely sure, not 100% happy with the air bubbles. But the rest, I really, really dig. I really like the way this has turned out. Let me just move this so you can look at this. I like the fact that the shapes are so highly individual. No stone looks exactly like the one next to it or any other stone on this, to be honest. It took me, I would say, a solid 3.5 hours to do all this. Of course, divided over a day. I didn't do it all in one sitting because it gets a bit annoying after a while. I think I worked till here, then here, and then I'll just did the rest. when I would have to compare this to the other way I used to make cobblestones, I think the results I achieve here are much nicer. The work, of course, is much more, but I think it's worth it. And I think, especially if you have like a small piece like this, it's well worth it. If you have a big, massive dio with a big, massive road, I think this might be very labor intensive and might take you hours upon hours. But if you're just having like a small section of cobblestones, go ahead. Really easy. And I have to say that the plaster of Paris I used, luckily, was rather slow drying because I applied a rather thick layer. So when I was working with it, even though it had like set for 9 hours, it was still very mendable. And the longer I waited during yesterday, the tougher it got and the harder it was to mend it. So I would really advise you to wait till it sets. And it's hard enough. So you can start with your engraving. If you wait till it's really rock solid, like 2 or 3 days, it might be a bit rough to do what you need to do. So, after all, I'd say great method to do cobblestones. Quick, easy. Let your imagination flow. Don't put yourself into any kind of, oh, I have to make them all like this or that, and have some kind of pattern. Just let your creativity flow and you'll get a decent result. So this is how it looks now. I'm going to put paint on it. Once it's painted, I'll show you a quick glimpse of what it looks like. Maybe in a slideshow. Maybe I'll talk to you quickly about it. But yeah, till then, I'll see you in a bit. Alright guys, as you can see, hopefully, if your eyesight is working, we're done. Well, basically done. Except for maybe using some pigment. As you can see, not much, but at least a little. I think the results I achieved are quite nice. I could have used a bit more variation in the tones of gray I used. I did use some darker and some lighter grays, and yeah, it's not really like top notch, but it's just a simple base, just to put something on, take pictures, be done with it. So yeah, that's how it looks. You can see here we have the drain. Yeah, for those of you who want to know how I created this, how I did the spaces in between, well, basically I just put a layer of primer on the base. Then I used Revel gray colors, and I think 8K Interactive gray colors to paint the stones. Then I put on a gloss of Alclad Aqua Gloss, and then I used these little guys. UMP's clay-based washes, dark dirt, mud, and concrete in a mix. Applied it, and once it was dry, I removed it from the top surfaces, and it just stayed in there and created a nice looking sandy, muddy, brownish, dry look, which I totally dig. And yeah, that's basically how I did this. So, sum it up, compared to the other method, much easier, and I think maybe even the better result when it comes to looks than the one with the cork. And it takes a bit more time, it's a bit more laborious to engrave all the little stones into this, but I think it's worth it. So this is the second way of creating a cobblestone. I hope you guys pick this up, maybe try it out yourself. For now, this is Solid Modeling. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys around in the next video. Bye for now, and always remember, the force is with ya. Your mum.